Welcome to the Twist News. I'm Erika Grey. Well, America finally woke up to the European Union. For many years, the media underreported, barely reported, and inaccurately reported about the European Union. And in the meantime, it was growing into an empire, a huge economic empire, and starting its political processes. And America was giving it carte blanche. Every single U.S. president, doesn't matter which one, was giving this thing carte blanche and saying that a strong Europe is good for America. Only a strong Europe decided to fine America and to capitalize off of America. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the European Union starting to write the rules for the world, starting to write different laws that had to be enacted by U.S. companies to do business within their large, enormous market. So we're going to look at the Digital Services Act as one of those rules. But before we do, I want to highlight a book that was written by an expert, and her name is Anu Bradford, and she is a Columbia law professor, and she wrote The Brussels Effect. And it was her analysis of the European Union's outsized influence on global issues, including antitrust law, data privacy, food safety, and climate change. There's a picture of her there teaching, and here is her book, The Brussels Effect: How the European Union Rules the World. Interesting title, How It Rules the World, because it is. It's basically writing rules for the world. It's written an AI rule, battery directive. I can keep going on. But again, we're going to look at the Digital Services Act. Seattle University called the Digital Services Act a new era for the internet. And it certainly is, because the new era meant that U.S. tech companies would be fined enormous fines. The first penalty was in 2008 against Microsoft. The next was in 2016, a whopping $14.5 billion was ordered to be paid by Apple in back taxes to Ireland plus interest. And the fines total a whopping $26 billion. That's right, $26 billion. The fines that were being paid by the different U.S. tech companies totaled more than what was being provided by the European Union's member states. That's right, what was being provided by the member states into the EU budget. This is how much U.S. tech companies were being fined, and every one of them, Google, Facebook, you name it, they faced a fine. And more recently, Thierry Breton, who was the vice president under Ursula von der Leyen in her previous commission, took to task Elon Musk with X. So, when did America finally wake up? Well, America woke up more recently with Donald Trump, because at the start of his presidency, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk were now saying something had to be done. And there's an interesting article that appeared in a German publication, Trump versus Europe, the Role of the Digital Services Act. And within this article, it basically states that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and those who have supported Donald Trump would have influence in framing a new rule book with tariffs, where Trump would call for studies and specific remedies and appropriate responsive measures to counter the digital services tariffs. And this was issued, so Washington has definitely woken up. There is going to be a serious response, countermeasure. But the question is, who's going to win? Who is going to win this current battle? Because apparently the European Union is still going forward with its fines, with its legislation, with its attack on the U.S. companies despite the threat of tariffs or anything else. They are now punching up to their weight. They are a giant, and they are now in a battle against another giant. So I will be reporting on Trump's measures, Europe's response in a future video to talk about this more. But at one time, I could have told you the European Union will lose this battle. The United States is going to win it. But I'm not so sure. And you're going to need to stay tuned to see exactly what is going to happen, because you've got two heavyweights which are both almost neck and neck as far as the size of their markets, and now going at it. I'm glad that Washington has finally woken up, because as I'm watching these finds, I couldn't believe that nothing was being done. There wasn't even a peep out of Washington until this recent presidency and Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and others saying to Donald Trump something has to be done, and throwing their weight behind his presidency, his candidacy at the time, because it was in their interests. So the United States is dealing with a Europe that is now punching up to its weight, two heavyweights, and let's see who will win this battle. In the meantime, like this video. I'd like your thoughts in the comments, and definitely subscribe to this channel. This has been Erika Grey from the Twist News.